This movie ends with John Wick dying. That being said, it is the most highly successful, critically acclaimed of the John Wick series. I'm sure the studio wants another one.
Yeah.
Have you had the drink with Keanu, and have you considered, like, what do you do? Like, would you embrace mythology? Could he be in the afterlife? Would you ever go that route? Like, how do you?
Well, if you ask Keanu Reeves, like the whole thing's a fever dream. He died in the first one when he's sitting there looking at the phone, and this is all Jacob's ladder shit. He's in purgatory. So I'll cover it that way. Look, man, you know how lucky any of us are in Hollywood to have an audience or to have a studio or have anybody willing to give you money to make more of what you really love.
Yeah.
I've heard people sometimes, why would I ever do that? Like, you know why I do more John Wicks? Because I fucking love Keanu and because I fucking love the genre and I love that they let me do what I want. I love everything about it. I love my career. It is a arduous, painstaking, stressful, how do I outdo myself? How do we not let down the audience? Every day stressing, shaking hands and beating yourself up. And I love every fucking minute of it. So like that's why we do them. But our main rule is, yeah, Keanu I've talked is like Keanu, if you ask him right now, would you do John Wick 5? He'd be fuck yeah. But then he'd look and go, well, what is it? I have no fucking idea. Like if you ask
So
me
we
right
so we don't have
now,
the second part. We have the first part, but not the second
yeah,
part of that
that's
question,
all.
basically.
And believe me, like it's not like we're gonna figure it out today. Like, look, man, we're gonna do our other stuff for a little bit. But if I was driving in the car or if I was just walking the dog and an idea hit me, within 30 seconds I'd be on the phone to Keanu and we'd be riffing. Like we have a lot of set pieces, we have a lot of ideas, we have a lot of things that we didn't go or didn't do before. Um, I have no doubt that we would come up with a lot of great pieces. It's just what's the main thread? Like
Right.
we're about myths. So like it's a fable. What's the message in the fable? What's the moral of the story? For we didn't title the movie um Hagakure, but there at one point it was John Wick Chapter 4 Hagakure. Hagakure is a Japanese term that if you really dive into what it really means and how it was expressed, like there's some meaning behind that. And that was our guiding theme, like what happens if this happens, that kind of. But if we found that moment and we found that thread, yeah. So like in answer to your question, I think you wouldn't find anybody involved in John Wick that wouldn't want to do another one on it. It has nothing to do with business. We just like the world. It has nothing to do with money or creative integrity or like, look, I feel very lucky that we've done four that people like that kind of have gone up in hopefully in quality because we've gotten better. Keanu's gotten better. Everyone's gotten better. So that's kind of a cool thing. Would you ask me to risk? I don't consider it a risk. I don't consider it like bashing your own franchise if it's a good idea, if we believe in it. I
Right.
mean, I'm sure there's plenty of examples you can think of recently that people have bashed their franchises,
Right.
trying to force a sequel where there was no meat on the bone to begin with.
You
And
just
we
don't
still
want to rob the
do that.
weight of that ending, right?
Yeah,
That
that's all.
emotional.
I mean,
Yeah.
if there was a way to go like, oh yeah, okay, he is in purgatory, he's getting a second, or like, it's, I look at it like Shane. Did Shane die?
Right.
I think the audience is 50-50 split on did Shane really die? But like, I don't think there's any reason to bring John Wick back without a real reason. Like the
Yep.
reason's gotta, it's gotta not get you off the hook. It's gotta draw people back in. Because I think most of the audience would love to see Keanu back. They just don't want to be treated like they're idiots.
Sure.
They don't want to be treated like, hey, give me your $14 and we'll bring back the guy and he'll shoot more people in the head. Like I'm part of the audience and I would feel ripped off if I did something like that. So I just think it's about, keeping what was the most important thing for us. We love the character, we love the world. And if you love it, you're going to take care of it. So we'll see what happens, man. But none of us are opposed to doing a 5. We just don't know how to do it. We're not that smart.